Need some sleeper prospects to add in Dynasty Leagues? We'll discuss on Fantasy Baseball Today in 5. Welcome into FBT in 5. As always, make sure to follow and stream us on Spotify. Today is Saturday, September 17th. I am Frank Stanfield, joined by Scott White, and we've got 10 no-name sleeper prospects to pick up in Dynasty Leagues, and we'll start with these 5. Kyle Manzardo, a first baseman with the Rays. Endy Rodriguez, a catcher with the Pirates. Matt Mervis, a first baseman with the Cubs. Aaron Zavala, an outfielder with the Rangers. And Tyler Gentry, an outfielder with the Royals. What do you think, Scott?
Well, I mean, kind of the standard here is these are prospects who are in the upper minors, so they're very likely to contribute next year. So you don't need to necessarily have a deep farm, a lot of minor league spots available to stash for a long time. But they put up great numbers and they're not getting a lot of attention. And my favorite is probably Kyle Manzardo. He was a second-round pick just last year and just looks like a hitting savant. I mean, he does everything well. And has he gotten even better with his move up to Double-A? It wouldn't be surprising to me if he was challenging for a starting spot next spring. Like that's just how advanced his bat is. In fact, he plays for the Rays, who like to platoon players, is the one knock on him, I would say. Endy Rodriguez has put up ridiculous numbers for the Pirates and hasn't just played catcher. Now, it doesn't sound like he can't play catcher, but he's just so athletic that they can play him all over the diamond, which bodes well for his fantasy value if he gets to the majors and retains catcher eligibility and becomes like a true everyday player with catcher eligibility. We know that always that churns out impact players in fantasy, and with the kind of production Endy Rodriguez has had between high A and Double A, that's an exciting idea, an exciting thought. Aaron Zavala of the Rangers has reached base at well over 400 clip for the season. It's more like 450 since he moved up to Double-A. So just an on-base machine. And yeah, he's limited to playing left field in all likelihood. So not a lot of defensive versatility. I think that helps keep his prospect stock low. And he doesn't have high-end power. Maybe could be a 20, 25 homer guy, but with those kind of on-base skills, I think Aaron Zavala has a bright future as a starter in the majors. I love Tyler Gentry. He might be the one who is getting the least amount of hype proportionately to how good I think he is, because he has just mashed you look at the month by month breakdown for him. It's been very steady, whether he's been at high A or Double-A, well over 300 with tons of power. He has an arm for right field, so it's not like it's even a defensive limitation issue. And really, it's hard to find any red flags in the scouting report. I'm not sure why Tyler Gentry isn't getting more attention. He's with the Royals, as I mentioned. So when the time comes, they're going to have room for him, you would think. Is that the last one?
That is the last of that group of 5. I have 5 more for you, Scotty. But a good point on Endy Rodriguez, because I saw catcher and Pirates. My first thought was, well, they just took Henry Davis first overall last year. So the fact that they can move him around obviously bodes well for his future value. The next 5 on this list, we have Edouard Julien, a second baseman with the Twins. And if you're looking for him, his first name is spelled kind of weird. It's Edouard, so not your typical Edward there. Emmanuel Valdez, a second baseman with the Red Sox. Addison Barger, a shortstop with the Blue Jays. Cade Marlowe, an outfielder with the Mariners. And Will Brennan, an outfielder with the Guardians.
Yes, so Edouard Julien, I know I just said the same thing for Aaron Zavala of the Rangers, but Julien, like, his on-base skills are just completely, they're otherworldly. I mean, like, if Kevin Youkilis was the Greek god of walks, Edouard Julien is the French emperor of them. 434 on-base percentage last year, 440-ish this year. I don't know exactly what the most updated number is at the time you're listening to it, but like ridiculous on-base skills. And with legit power too. I mean, it kind of reminds me of Marcus Semien when he was first coming up. He was putting up lines like this in the minors and not getting much attention for it. Edouard Julien is in the same boat, I would say. We've talked about Emmanuel Valdez a few times. It started this year with the Astros, went to the Red Sox in the Christian Vasquez trade, 5'9", but the pop seems legit from the left side. It's just, does he have a position to play? Mostly plays second, but not clear that he's going to hold up there. And the 5'9" obviously raises questions about his ultimate power ceiling as well. Addison Barger of the Blue Jays has put up big power numbers in the minors. Doesn't have a clear path to the majors. Best position is probably third base. Of course, Matt Chapman is locked up there. And he relies on a high leg kick to get his power. So strikeouts could become an issue. They have been an issue for Addison Barger in the past, but he seems to have gotten better in that regard. Cade Marlowe of the Mariners, athletic player, capable of manning center, power, speed, strikeouts could be an issue for him as well, but he has been on a torrid stretch too in the season. As of the time we're recording this, batting over 500 in September with a bunch of home runs. So he seems to be peaking at the right time here. He's at AA already. Will Brennan is kind of, statistically speaking, kind of like Steven Kwan. A lot of contact, some speed, maybe a tiny bit more power than Kwan, which isn't saying much. But if the Guardians are willing to have another one of those players in their outfield, Will Brennan could fit the bill.
All right. For more extensive fantasy baseball coverage, listen to the Fantasy Baseball Today podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, your smart speakers, or anywhere else podcasts are found. And thanks for listening to Fantasy Baseball Today in 5. We'll be back again on Monday morning. Bye-bye.